Hello and welcome to another episode of Is That Canon?
Is it Canon?
We are the podcast. We will be talking about things that came from comic books and ended up on screens. I am joined as always by my two lovely co-hosts, Brian and Tink. How has your week been?
I'm tired and I can't wait for my day off tomorrow. Yes! But I'm good.
And I'm tired and I can't wait for my day off on Saturday.
Yeah! Virtual high fives for days
2 more
off.
days left.
How are you?
How's
so
you?
bad.
Yeah. You
Pretty
didn't lose your
good.
voice, no? Screaming.
Ready? No, I didn't. I had a great weekend. We had a gig on Friday opening up Fulcara's first ever Pride event. Braun McGill organised it. It was excellent.
Excellent.
If anyone wants to see a clip, I have it on my Twitter. Also, you should follow Braun McGill. They're a nice organisation.
Yes, absolutely. I'm all about having that support for anything that's a great cause. And this is a great cause as well. But it also feels sad as well that the fact this shouldn't be a no-brainer. You know, let people just live for the love of everything, right?
It's
And,
lovely seeing in the past 10 years my area has become a lot more tolerant and lovely. There was
Yes.
like a proper pride parade on in Fulcara.
Yeah.
It was a massive success. It was a huge turnout. It was lovely.
Yeah, and especially when we're coming from the Irish side of it as well. You know, this is like, it's nice to be able to have everyone just be themselves or be who they are.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We
Especially
were-
in Ireland.
We were a very conservative area for a long time, and it's
Mm-hmm.
nice to see it all sort of open up.
So what I want you to do now is head down to the George, go down to bingo night and get yourself a damn good experience with a lot of brilliant people. That's my recommendation. But I miss bingo nights at the George. I do. We used to go in on a Thursday night. Anyway, please support our lovely brothers and sisters that are going through this as well. And we are allies and we are there for you. BB
Yeah,
pansexual.
it's lovely seeing it's lovely. Our keyboard player Isabel is a proud lesbian, and she's she's late in her age, and it's lovely seeing she's like saw it going from like one way to being like a lot more tolerant. It's been nice.
Great.
So that was my weekend. Anyone else do anything interesting?
I didn't do anything as supportive and brilliant as you. I feel like a dick now that I should have done more. But I rest. What about you, Brian? Have you supported anyone lately over the weekend?
Well, not this. I went into Pride when it was on in Dublin, which is the first time I was able to for years because I used to always be running gaming events and just finally got a weekend off. And it was deadly.
I've yet to go to the Pride here in Amsterdam, you know, and I just missed it as well because I didn't go because of conflicts and schedules and all that other stuff. But still, I'd love to go. I went to the one in Dublin, fantastic.
It's a good show. Really
Good
enjoyed
show.
it. Like happy I went. Like yeah.
I want to go to the one here because they do all the canals, and I seen like a bunch of floats going down where these guys are dressed up as cherubs, using the jets and just floating around on the canals down by the boats, handing out stuff. And I was
It's
like, I
pretty
gotta be
funny.
there. I gotta be there.
That sounds straight up awesome.
It is.
I won't lie. Yeah.
They just go. Oh, it is a fantastic event. Like it's not even like a show or anything. It's a great event. It's just a huge community all there, just loving each other, having a great time.
They put on
Just
they do put on a
watching
great
people
event.
fall into canals because they're half chucked. It's great. It's all around good. It's probably like the equivalent of our Paddy's Day in terms of the banter and the hype it can be and the passion. I think I miss my Paddy's Day. I want to go home. I love it. Anyway, but yeah, I'm jealous. I'm really jealous. Fecking ourselves now. I feel shitty. Anyway, let's crack into it with both hands.
Yeah.
What do we
so,
have so far? Because the
for
weekend.
anyone that doesn't know, last weekend was the San Diego Comic Con. And there was a showing from both DC and Marvel, one of them a lot bigger than the other.
Yes.
And we have a shitload of stuff to talk about. A lot of new announcements. There'll be no show reviews this week. I think we have more than enough to talk about.
Oh my
So,
god.
First up,
Well fed, Brian.
Well fed. We're
Well,
eating
that-
well.
I said this on the podcast with the other lads on Pardon the D. We talked about this last night. I'll share the videos as well. And I literally said, I have a lad that we all do this together. Is that Canon? And what did Brian say? Are we fed?
Eating well. Well fed.
We are well fed. Go on, go on. Sorry, I'm
the
excited.
first thing we're going to be talking about is DC released a trailer for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And I don't know about you two, I love the first Shazam movie. I think it's one of the more fun movies that DC have made, a company that tends to do things way too dark actually had some sort of enjoyment and fun out of a movie.
Yeah.
And this looks great.
I said this recently as well. It was one of those movies that I kind of just let pass by me because I thought it was going to be cheesy and, you know, I wasn't really into it because I often think of DC, I think it was a bit gritty, but anyway. But when I sat down and finally watched it, I was like, oh man, what did I miss? So now
Yeah,
I'm
it's
really
just
looking
nice.
forward to this.
Yeah, it's a real genuine film. It's got a lot of heart. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Doesn't outstay its welcome.
Yeah.
It doesn't do a lot of things that it doesn't make a lot of mistakes that other superhero films do.
Yeah.
I've always liked Shazam / Captain Marvel as a character. He's always fun. Always liked Mary Marvel as well, and of course we see her. It looks like they're giving her a bit of time on her own in the trailer for the second one. So I'm down with that. Like, always liked that character. She's cool. Didn't like it when they turned her like into an evil BDSM version for a while in DC Comics, but yeah,
I had
that
no
face
idea.
is appropriate.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah, it got real weird.
Yeah.
Do you guys need to talk about something in-house about this? Because I feel like we're getting to 2022 now that we should have a conference.
The whole Shazam universe got really dark for a while.
Yeah, and it didn't work for me. Didn't work at all for me.
No, I wonder
Yeah.
why.
But yeah, trailer looks good. Actually, genuinely don't know who the villains are, and that doesn't happen too often.
The Daughters of Atlas.
The Daughters of Atlas.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
That
with
is-
Helen Mirren and our lovely lady Lucy Liu.
Yeah, so
Our
they're
lovely
great.
love. They're grand.
Yeah. Happy to see them, especially Helen Mirren get a payday. Like, yeah.
I
sure, happy to see
love.
Yeah.
I'm so happy when I
Get
see
her
Helen
those
Mirren
DC
show up in
funds.
cheesy movies.
them. Yeah.
She's all like she was fantastic in Red as well.
Mm.
So, especially when she's kind of playing that kind of like, well, I don't know how to describe it because she's always described as a very elegant, very kind of stage actor. You know what I mean? And then to put her into something that's a bit kind of off into our humor as well. I look forward to actually seeing how she's going to add a character to this.
Yeah, I
You
have
know?
a feeling I'm getting Kate Blanchett Gila vibes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
A little bit, yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
a bit cheesier though.
I think I'm probably going to be a bit funnier. I'd hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu being bad guys in the movie, I'm all for.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's always a nice dynamic when you're having chicks as a villain, especially
Yeah.
when they're much more experienced and into the game of acting like they are, you know. And I wonder if Lucy Liu is going to be doing any stunts. You know what I mean? Back in her, Charlie
Oh,
Angel's
yeah,
days.
yeah.
Thinking about it, I want to know. I'm interested to see how far we'll go.
I always thought, Lucy Liu was like this sort of Hollywood actor, did like fun action movies. If anyone's never watched Elementary, she's really good in that show.
She's very good in Elementary.
Yeah,
for,
she's
for a
really
Sherlock
good.
Holmes series.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite procedurals in the past 10 years. I love Elementary.
Does anyone know about Lucy Liu's weird little connection with the Marvel universe?
I'm so happy to have some information you can tell me, Brian.
Okay,
Please.
so you know the way Sam Jackson is Nick Fury now because Ultimates Nick Fury is looks exactly like Sam Jackson.
Yeah,
The Wasp in
The
the
Wasp,
Ultimates
yeah.
was based
Yeah.
on Lucy Liu. Yeah, and they make jokes about it actually in it. Like, they're like, "Who'd play you in the film?" Lucy Liu, that type of thing. Like, but yeah, The Wasp is Lucy Liu.
I
Brilliant.
love
Like
the
that.
Ultimates.
Well, I loved them until they started doing incest and cannibal story. What is it with today? This is like the third time I've.
It feels like there's a confession going on unintentionally. And I
Weird,
have to
fucked
sit
up
here
things
and like,
happened in the
Jake,
Ultimates, but I
listen,
read the Ultimates
lads
at
are a
a
bit
time
strange,
where
and I
I was like,
apologize.
this is
I'm like,
cool.
just no, keep going, keep telling
Yeah.
me about the terrible ideas of these lads have.
Yeah. I was a bit too old when I started reading the Ultimates, and they're like, "Oh, Hulk's doing what?"
Yeah. Hulk's a weird character.
Yeah, cool. It says more about what was his name?
Mark Miller.
Mark Waid. Yeah, Mark Miller. The other Miller. Yeah.
Mark Miller doesn't do normal things. Everything's just a
No.
little bit too fucked up.
We're already talking about Marvel. Yeah. So
Anyway, let's stay on DC for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
There's so much Marvel. So much Marvel. Anyway, keep going.
all
But
right.
the one thing I want to point out is that in this Shazam 2, we're going to be seeing our main struggling with himself a little bit of how he's going to be going through this world and what kind of enemies he's going to be facing off with. Kind of finding himself as Shazam a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to see how that's going to go for his character arc in it, because it feels like they're investing a little bit more in that.
It did seem that they were trying to do a universe thing with this trailer. I'm going to show little clips
Little snippets,
of the characters. Yeah. This is DCEU. DCEU still exists. There was a bit of a...
Aquaman still exists.
Yeah.
We still have Flashpoint to get through, lads.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything.
There was no face of the Flash. There was no face for Batman.
That's why even when we were getting the show together, I was like, there's not much announcements of DC, lads.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Will we talk about Black Adam and then talk about DC overall? Because I think that might be a good idea. We have to have a chat about...
Let's talk about our new savior, possibly for DC.
Dwayne. Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock, your shit together, Johnson.
Dwayne,
Right?
the franchise
Johansson, if
saver
you want
Johnson.
to. Yes, Black Adam is coming to theatre soon. We've already seen like a big trailer already flushed out on the lovely Comic-Con floor. Personally, myself, I think this is going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be a little bit of a savior for DC. Because anytime, if you want magic, you bring in The Rock, I think, at this stage.
Yeah, I like Black Adam as a character. I like him, especially when he's an anti-hero. He's kind of the equivalent to Doctor Doom in the DC comics for me, but a bit more anti-hero and a bit less villain in general. I think The Rock is just absolutely perfect casting.
It
Just
works so well.
I keep mentioning this. Parts with the feckin', like the planes, and he just goes, boop.
Yeah, that was... I mean, the special effects look great. It's the first time I've seen them, like, way better than a BVS or Man of Steel. There's a moment in, one of the trailers where, like, the missile's shooting at him and he does super speed and grabs it. He just looks so in control and so powerful. It's the first time I think one of these DC characters looks
and feels tastes invincible,
Yeah. In a way that Marvel characters shouldn't and don't, which is
because you always see a little flaw, you always see a little crack, you always see something. But obviously, we're coming out strong in what the trailers come.
Until they do the Sentry, I don't think Marvel will ever have a character like that, really.
No, and it doesn't make sense for them to. That's not the way they're. Yeah.
That's why I feel like this guy's going to be able to pull some magic out now to save them a bit. Because if they do well on this, and then what's the next step? Are they going to integrate into Shazam?
Well, I mean, Black Adam makes
that
no
has
sense.
to happen eventually.
Has to happen. So, I think if they're going to have two strong ponies out the gate, might be an interesting. Go on.
I wonder, like the plot of the movie doesn't really seem to be available unless it's just him fighting the Justice Society. I'm sure there's more to it than that.
Has to be.
But I
Brosnan's
love the fact that we're probably getting half a movie of Black Adam versus the Justice Society. That's super cool. Like Hawkman, Atom Smasher, Dr. Fate. Oh, it's going. That has me so excited. These are really cool DC characters that I always thought DC were they'll never really move away from the 7 main ones. And I'm so happy to get to see these B-list characters. I've said this a lot. Dr. Fate might be my favorite design of a character in comics. I love him.
Yeah,
Pierce Brosnan is the perfect casting.
It's perfect for a perfect casting. So when I seen that in the trailer, I was like, oh, this is like I am confident, straight confident that this is going to literally help them in their pockets if they're looking for bonuses at DC for what it feels like. And if we're talking about bottom taxes, I think they're gonna have a fucking crisp movie, and they're gonna have a very nice little payday at the end of it. Because I'll go to the cinema and see them, no problem, straight up.
Oh, I definitely am. I really enjoyed. There's a guy called James Robinson. He's the guy who wrote Starman, which is a lot of people would, if you're making a top 5 of big 2 comics, usually you'll see Starman in there. After he did Starman, he did a run on JSA, and including bits with Black Adam, and it was phenomenal. And I think they'll be drawing on that. So really looking forward to that. I assume it there's the bang of a certain superhero plot off this where all the good guys are fighting, but then a bigger threat comes along.
And they have to help.
and then they
Yeah.
get mutual respect, and Black Adam might even join the JSA. But I have this like
I don't
I
think
have
it
this
will.
other yeah I think I'm gonna say something that you'll agree with here. If they're clever, all this stuff with is Henry Cavill coming back as Superman. There is no Superman. You know, is
This
Captain
is where
Marvel?
to do it.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. Have Black Adam as this like, oh, make him a heel. He's the fucking Rock.
Yeah, oh, I said
Make him
you
a
add
heel.
this lad
Yeah.
to anything, it
Yeah.
makes magic. It prints money.
Yeah.
Like it's a no-brainer.
Make people want to see Henry Cavill come back and punch him in the face,
Oh
or
my
if you have
God.
to level up Shazam to the point where you would believe that this guy can punch the Rock in the face and hurt him.
Sorry the expression, but a three-way would be awesome too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it would be interesting to see, like, you know, figuring out a threat, that moral kind of complex. You know, Black Adam's got through his lot at some stage. You know, stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, like that kind of. But then again, you kind of have to get Superman into that kind of like sturdy.
Well, here's
I don't know, but like still,
Well,
I'd like.
you could have this thing where Superman can't handle Black Adam because he's magic. So Superman has to become a mentor to Shazam to get him on his level.
Yeah.
That's
Now
such
that would
a
be
good
that would
idea.
be a good idea. You're welcome, DC. I'll wait for my bonus check.
This is the way to fix Superman as well.
This
Henry
is the way
Cavill's
to-
Superman is an inherently broken character that
That's what I'm
doesn't work
talking
as
about.
a Superman.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you get
Ma-
someone who's iconic to mentor someone that is up and coming, which is let's feel it. Like I do feel
Yeah.
like this could be our quote unquote Superman era as well when it comes to DC. Shazam could grasp that. But if bring that in, bring a Yoda moment if you will, and have him all mentored and trained up and shit like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like
And then-
imagine the start at the start. You know, give them a few films of Black Adam as a pure heel. You want to see him beaten. Like whenever he shows up, heroes just can't beat him type of thing. And
We
then
get Shazam being
Superman
like, I need to beat you, Black Adam. I need it with every fiber of my body.
just
or-
one more.
Or
fight.
we twist it, we make it a bit darker. Twist it, make it a bit darker. Let Batman go bad.
Yeah, off
Okay,
the rocker.
Adam is just like he's an anti-hero. He doesn't step in and clean everyone else's mess. Shazam's cleaning everyone else's mess. Have that dynamic, right? Have Superman, he's grand, mentorship. Something goes wrong, gets taken over. Obviously, we're going Schneider's first. Whatever. But anyway, but still, have that going on midway, and then having this team to go down and fix Superman or take down Superman before everything else goes to the chaos like the timeline said it would. That way you fuck Miriam out the door. Don't worry about her. Fucking, what's her face? Anyway, we all know who we're talking about. She's gone, right? Good luck to her and her bleeding prod. We worry about the Joker no more, okay? And the Batman thing, forget about it. Robert Pattinson's going to fill in the rest of the gaps. Grand. There you go. Fixed.
Yeah, I'd be happy with the Batman.
Ezra Miller, we just let that show run. Let it
This is
run.
the biggest-
Literally,
I-
no pun. And then we get our series Barry coming in and taking over. And
I'm
let continuity
shocked.
take over.
I'm shocked that DC haven't even like brought up what they're doing with Flashpoint yet.
But they don't listen. This shit
They
is
don't
so
even
recent.
know what-
Yeah.
You don't even know what they're doing with their actor.
Yeah, but
But
it
this
feels
is-
like they can't just go ahead with it. I don't know how they could.
Like they either wait a year
I
or two.
still
and,
want to see it. I still want to see it. I want to see what he truly could have fucked up. That's, or them, beg your pardon, not to be rude, but like still, I want to know what exactly you threw away, child. Like I am so upset.
That's
and
not how. That's not how business works.
I know,
No.
but like that's I know that, but did you hear me what I'm saying? Like if you made such an effort to become this character, you spent years investing in it, everything like that, you come out with your own movie, proper Flashpoint movie, right? Let's see something that could be tremendous for DC in their universe.
And then your
And now all of
life
this
falls off a
happened,
cliff.
your life falls off a cliff midway, and I'm sitting there going like, I still want to see what you what could have been. Like, was it really badly messed up that could have set this chap or this person off? Like, could have been that case for them? Like that's my question and all that.
Well, I think
That's
we've
why I
effectively
would still want to know if it was shite or not, and want to
we've
know if, like,
effectively
go on, sorry, Ryan.
we've segued into talking about DC overall at this point. Naturally.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, but that's cool because like
One thing I did want to say before we do this,
Segue.
I don't envy the people who have to write films for The Rock. I would not be able to not just put in Rock catchphrases everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I really want Black Adam
Insert
to tell
eyebrow
somebody,
here
it
with
doesn't
some
matter
question."
what you think. I
Like-
want that so bad.
I do too.
I remember the first time they let The Rock do the rock bottom in the Fast and the Furious movie, and I was so happy.
I laughed when I saw
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, move on
Yeah,
to DC.
Okay, so, like, I mean, obviously they wanted to do tons of Flashpoint stuff at Comic-Con, and
Yeah.
they could not. Clearly, they had so little. Clearly, the linchpin was supposed to be Flashpoint,
Yeah.
and they couldn't. They are, like, the perception of what the state they're in was so bad at this. They have 2 trailers for films that we already either, like, we saw loads of stills of Shazam, and we saw a trailer.
Loads of proper professional photos of our man.
Yeah. It wasn't like this is
one
our first
announcement.
look. Yeah. No announcements. Like, we didn't see Aquaman 2. Like, we didn't see stuff that we know is in
They
production.
can't
Or
talk about
finished.
Aquaman 2 either.
It's finished.
Yeah, they can't talk about Aquaman either. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're so mired, and like,
We can't
like-
even talk about anything that could be up and coming out the Batman
Yeah.
side of it. Like,
Yeah.
what happened to that
And-
conversation?
Marvel
Way too early.
is showing their entire slate, and DC can't even tell us who's playing their most important character right now.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how bad this situation is. And like, if they're clever, use these 2 connected films.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Shazam and Black Adam. That's the start of a universe on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
fuck it
And
up.
I
Yeah.
think he is likable enough as Shazam to build a bit of a universe around him
Yeah.
as their new
And-
Superman.
And the same with The Rock. The Rock is so charismatic.
The Rock is the most famous person in the world for a
It's
reason.
in the name. It's in the name, The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay? It's solid.
He's dependable, sturdy,
works.
powerful.
And did you
Yeah.
see what happened when there was questions in the crowd? He's such a performer, The Rock. He's such.
Absolutely.
It's
you-
still
did
a
you-
showman.
Did you hear what happened?
No, did not.
Someone said who would win between Black Adam and Superman in a fight. He looked out into the crowd and he said, absolutely purposefully, I'd say, depends who's playing Superman. On the weekend where there was a massive rumor Henry Cavill was walking around the Comic-Con. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing. And you know what? Henry Cavill has the same agent as The Rock. So The Rock is playing a game. I don't know if DC are smart enough to be playing the same game. But The Rock is sure playing a game.
I
You know what mean?
say game on. It's all winning from here.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
way I see it. You
And
can't
I-
lose with this lad.
Yeah. Do this right, guys, and you've got like BVS bony people want to see it.
Should have changed the title to this appealing to DC's like
Yeah.
inner person.
Hmm.
Dear DC.
Yeah.
What
And
the
like
fuck
just
is
to
this?
just to stress, because like I mean, I'm always going on about how much I love Marvel stuff. I love DC as much. I really do. It's just I feel they constant like I feel
was-
sorry for them, but at the same time they fuck everything up.
Yes.
They
It's,
fucking- yeah.
Green Lantern should be as big as Guardians of the Galaxy. 100%.
Yeah.
Green Lantern Corps is one of the most fun group of characters that exists. They have decades of incredible storylines to choose from. And no, we'll just
And they
make
can't get a
really
Ryan
bad-
Reynolds film over.
Yeah, they made a really bad movie with Ryan Reynolds, a guy who should be a home run in anything.
Because the most imaginative thing they can have is a giant green fist or a giant airplane with a character who can make any thought reality. That's what you give us.
Yeah,
It's
and it
like
was from
they
that
have-
moment on that everything started to go a bit sideways.
Oh, okay, like honestly, the mistake they made was giving a filmmaker who was just a filmmaker control over the universe. Here's Zaki, total control.
And
that
look
was
what we
the
got. I still have the picture. Look at this. Ah.
Like
A man who had made some fairly decent films but had no connection to DC in any way.
Like, I don't want to be going on, like, I know we joke about our Lord Feige and everything, but the dude broke into Fox so he could work in, not broke into it, but he got into Fox so he could work on X-Men films.
I don't
Yeah.
blame him.
Yeah. He knew exactly what he wanted ever since then. He was the first project he led was Wolverine and the X-Men, you know, that cartoon. Like he
Which
was
is a good cartoon.
Which is a good cartoon. He was immersed in the culture. And being like, we were talking about Jeff Jones last week. There were certain things said in that article about Jeff Jones that would put me off him.
Yeah.
As a like, the implication was it wasn't that he was racist; it was that he didn't care about Ray Fisher's predicament. It was kind of, they're not. Do you know what I mean? Which
It was just.
yeah. Didn't make him look good. Do you know what I mean? Didn't make him sound like, would you want to work for that guy?
No.
Yeah, you know, like,
They have, in my opinion, one of the greatest minds in the industry, and that's Jim Lee. I think
Yeah.
Jim Lee should just be in charge of the entire thing. The guy is one of
Clear.
the greatest artists for comics that's ever existed, and you can tell he loves it and has a vision.
yep,
But we'll have to
not
see
the
what
vision,
happens
just
with all of this.
No,
yeah.
Like, I don't
But,
know
like-
when we're gonna touch another. Like, it feels like Batman has been rang out. Like, it's we're not gonna get any more drops out
look,
of that thing.
we'll get a new Batman movie every 3 years for the rest of the time.
That's
way
the
it is.
reality. Like, do you know what I think? Do you know what I think? Joker 2 sounds brilliant. Joker 2
musical?
sounds like, yeah, it's gonna piss everyone off, which is what a Joker film should do. And actually, the first one. Remember, we were talking about that. The first one, there was people on the right who were complaining about it, and there was people on the left who were complaining about it. Both of them saw exactly the opposite of what the other. That's probably a really good sign for a Joker
A
film.
Joker movie you should be leaving a Joker movie going, that was really good, but incredibly uncomfortable. I'm not sure if I'll watch it again. Sorry, that was my ringtone.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was Homeland Security. But no, like, I hear you with that, with the Joker 2. Jesus, I wonder what way it is.
I can't believe it's a musical. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm
Lady
not-
Gaga
I'm-
musical.
I'm clearly not going to go anytime soon, but, like, if it comes to town and I happen to be around.
No, a movie musical. It's not like a stage
is it?
musical. As a movie, yeah,
Oh, I
as
thought
a
it was going to
movie.
be on tour. No, I knew
No,
this
as a
whole
movie,
thing.
it's going to be a musical.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm guessing it's a musical in the mind of Harley Quinn. Is kind of the. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, because
that's
she's.
what I see. That's
yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Well,
She
I'm
is,
not
yeah,
sure.
she's the big addition.
Yeah.
They're doing
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, and it's not going to be your one,
Margot Robbie.
Oh,
as far as I know.
No,
Yeah.
it's Lady Gaga.
It's a.
Lady Goo Goo Gagas.
Yeah.
Was that who it is? Oh,
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard.
Yeah,
I
Lady
only
Gaga's
heard it was
playing.
going to be a musical with her in it.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
fair.
making an
Oh,
assumption.
I know
that's
there's a musical
that's a
happening,
really
and
good
I'm
idea.
not really. I'm just gonna wait and see what other people say, really, or react as.
Anyway,
So-
get well soon, DC. Get well,
Get
Warner's.
well soon.
Yeah,
Come
Thoughts
on.
and prayers.
Come on.
Thoughts and prayers.
make a TV show with all your dark characters and make it really funny and be great. Have like Deadman and Constantine and Etrigan and have them have like a.
Have a.
Did we do say?
Everybody's frozen.
Yeah. No, you're back. You're back. Good
You're
to hear
back. Sorry. Have
Uh,
a woo. That's all we
yeah.
heard.
Like I was saying, there's a anime movie Justice League Dark. Do that as a TV
Yeah.
show.
you. Yeah,
Good
that was
money
great.
into it. Yeah.
I'd love to find that positive perfect time. Woo.
Ooh.
So
And
the
speaking
next
of
thing
Constantine-
they showed off was Sandman.
Yeah.
Which isn't far away.
Shannon, and it's coming out on Netflix as well, which is convenient for
I
some.
can't hear anyone.
I can hear
Oh,
you.
goodness. We can hear you. You can't hear us.
Testing.
Li- Little bunch of technical difficulties there.
It's gonna break everything now.
I love podcasting.
See, I told you this when we started. I said this. I told
Hello?
you. Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you hear us?
Hello. Can you see us?
Maybe refresh there, Aiden.
Refresh, Aiden.
He can't hear us. There you go. He's
Oh,
refreshing.
we're breaking everything. This is great.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
how the magic happens, guys.
Yeah.
Hello?
Can you
Yeah,
hear
you're
us?
back.
I can hear you now.
Hey.
All of a sudden, just all the audio cut. I couldn't hear anybody.
We literally had everything ready to go minutes and even 20 minutes beforehand. I know I had all my stuff together. I said it to the lads, telling you, I was like, oh, this is the first time we've ever been ahead of ourselves. I was like, you just straight up
Yeah.
jinxed us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's gonna
Straight
go
up jinxed
wrong.
us. Everything's gonna break on stream now. Perfect.
No, we're back to good again. It'll be good. Don't
As
worry.
long as we're back together,
Okay.
that's all that matters. Anyway,
Yeah.
On to the Sandman happening August 6th. I know you
That's
lads are
good.
excited about it. I'm kind of like, I'll see how we get on. So go on.
So Sandman was an important comic book to me growing up. When I was about 17, 18, me and a girlfriend of mine loved him. I love Neil Gaiman. My favorite book is Good Omens that he wrote with Terry Pratchett.
Yeah.
Just love everything that Neil Gaiman's done. It's just really good stuff, really important. Interestingly, they've had to change certain things in this series, like the John Constantine parts are all Joanna Constantine, who was a character from the comics, but like she had a much smaller part. And it's Jenna Coleman from Doctor Who. I love Jenna Coleman, so happy to have her around. Death looks great. Desire looks great.
Yes.
The Dreaming looks great. All looks good. Bit different, but good. I haven't. It's hard from this trailer to see like how the plot is being done, or if there's humor there, or any of that stuff.
Comes
So
across
I'm
very
not saying it
gritty
looks like
and
it's gonna be
dark and
amazeballs.
dramatic. That's what I feel like it comes across as.
Neil Gaiman's heavily involved, so it should feel right.
Yeah. Because the only thing that's kind of like the trailer was very gritty and very dark. So I didn't see anything. Oh. Brian, you still here?
You both vanished for about 10 seconds there.
But you're okay. You're still here with us.
I'm still here. Yeah. Okay.
I think we just jinxed everything. I was just saying Sandman.
Yeah.
The trailer, yeah. It came across as very dark and there's no humor in it, so it's hard to, interpret, I suppose.
Yeah, there is a
There you go.
good bit of humor in the comic, though. It's dark, but there is humor. Like, so. Yeah.
And I was saying, because Neil Gaiman's so heavily involved, you'd imagine they get the tone right.
Yeah, you would hope.
Yeah.
Interestingly, like, I mean, in the 80s when this comic came out, I've actually attended talks with Neil Gaiman himself when he was in Dublin, which was really fun. Yeah.
So sexy.
In the 80s early 90s when comics were all pouches and testosterone, like that picture of Wonder Man I like sharing all the time with the forehead, like
My,
he's like
my
this.
favorite. Just nothing.
Heroes
Love that.
Reborn.
Yeah. During that period, Sandman just sold millions to women because it was so against the type of comic that was going around at the time.
That's hilarious. You're still with us, Brian. You okay? You look like you're lost.
Yeah, you both went silent again.
Oh, all right.
No,
That's
no,
strange.
Let me talk.
I was just letting you talk for once. I'm sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
okay, fair enough. Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
yeah. So it's like it's a real important comic.
Yes.
A lot of people got their first in with Sandman. So delighted to see that. Like, it looks like they've spent an absolute crap ton of money on it because it really deserves it.
My only concern is that, like anything that I could like, remember that show Jupiter? What's it called?
Jupiter, yeah.
I like that. I was hoping to figure out what happens then, and what did they do? Cut it after season one.
I think this is like hyped up so much, and there's so much money spent on it.
It
Right?
was put into Comic-Con, so it has to be like at least a second season.
Yeah. Because Jupiter's Ascending
they
kind of came
kinda,
out.
with all due respect to Jupiter's Ascending, it was like they just threw it out, wasn't it?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
fanfare.
I
Fanfare.
enjoyed it. I want
I
to know
thought it
what
was okay.
happened with the brother. Did he sabotage in the end? Like, never know what's going to happen, but whatever. C'est la vie.
You can read the comic if you really want to know.
I could actually, but it's all the if I could read, I just like Aiden can't read. Does it have pictures?
That's by the same guy who did that Ultimate storyline we were talking about. But,
Yeah.
Mark Millar and
yeah.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, and Kick-Ass.
And-
I always get the feeling with Mark Millar that if he has a really good editor, he does amazing stuff like Civil War.
Yeah, I think he's really talented, but he's kind of he needs to keep his edgelord intact.
Edgelord intact.
Like he lets his edgelord out a little bit too much all the time, and if someone just pull that back a bit.
It reminds me of The Boys.
I was gonna say it reminds me of Vince Russo.
Yeah, well, it is all this kind of like. When I say The Boys, I mean more Garth Ennis, right? Garth Ennis is a great writer.
Yeah.
But as his series wind on, you can see this in Preacher, and I can like I haven't read The Boys, but I can see it happening in the TV series of The Boys. When you push the envelope every time, your envelope pushing has to get like further out of the envelope or get a bigger envelope every time. Like you know.
Have any of you ever read Crossed?
No.
Crossed was the thing he did after The Boys. Or was it maybe at the same time? And Crossed is the most fucked up zombie comic I've ever read in my entire life. So the idea of Crossed is it's zombies, but they still have sentience, and instead of becoming like, they just become sadistic. It's like sadistic, and it's just like, it's the most graphic, awful post-apocalypse you'll ever see. Third issue of the comic, to kill all the kids because it's just nicer than letting them live. It's, and like, it didn't.
Sounds
it was too
oddly
much.
humane.
That was the idea. It was way like, this world was so, because these were zombies that would rape your corpse while eating you at the same time.
Oh God. Okay. All right.
It was
Sounds
too,
like
it was
it's all right.
it was too much, and it ended fairly early in its run.
I wonder
probably
why.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, that was Crossed. I hope that doesn't come back.
Ouch.
Not a fan. I wasn't a fan. I
Yeah.
genuinely was like, this is Gareth Ennis. Like, I love him. Like, I really like 303. I like Preacher, and like this was just no.
Was he We Are 3?
303. The
303.
The one with the rifle.
All right. I was thinking of the one with the three animals.
I don't think I've ever read that.
I must look up. I think it's We Are 3. It's about 3 sentient animals. It was someone like Gareth Ennis who escaped from a lab. Basically.
Okay.
So you've got like a sentient dog and a sentient cat and a sentient rabbit, I think.
Ah, like Homeward Bound, but with more
Yeah.
more smarts.
Yeah, and one of them has a mech. It's really good. It's
Oh,
really
right.
sad. It's really good.
That sold.
Why am I thinking that it was probably pulled from a bit of fucking Rick and Morty as well?
I'd say it
Yeah.
inspires Rick and Morty
Yeah.
actually. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
where are my testicles, Summer?
Summer.
They were here. Where have they gone? Love it. Love it so much.
So we'll quickly run through. Marvel had a little animated thing where they showed off a couple of their new animated shows. What If is getting a season 2. Marvel Zombies is coming out. X-Men Freshman Year. The most notable thing is it's not going to be Tom Holland.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Spider-Man freshman
Yeah.
year.
What did I say?
freshman year. Yeah.
All right. Spoilers. X-Men '97 is the last thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't read.
See, I told you. There, now.
Yeah.
Proof. There.
Any particular excitement? What If season 2? That could be real cool.
I'm really intrigued to see how Marvel Zombies is gonna go. Because I really liked the comic run of it. I thought it was really cool how they all had concept of it is basically zombies, but still having some kind of self awareness of their own conscious, I guess. Or they're still kind of that person inside, but they're just zombified. But they're driven by obviously the hunger, but they still have all their powers and stuff. So I really look forward to how they're gonna dish that out in animation. I'm really looking forward to that.
I actually, funnily enough, feel like Crossed was a response to Marvel Zombies, and the idea of the zombies still having full intelligence.
Like, what did it actually be like? Type of thing. Like,
Yeah, because a lot of what Gareth Ennis does is, I don't like superheroes, so let's ruin
But it also
superheroes.
makes me question continuity. Is this going to be where Scarlet Witch is going to still exist? Or is she going to be... Is that going to be her universe? And if so, does she also still have continuity? Is she still looking for boys?
Well, there is a Marvel Zombies universe in the comics. Like, it's just its own. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, there's a Marvel Zombies multiverse.
Yeah, because they go into other universes
Yeah,
to eat.
they literally break out of their universe in the front.
They eat everything in the universe, and then they're like, "Fuck, we can now travel the multiverse." So they jump into another universe and start spreading the virus. Yeah, it's good.
Turns out having Reed Richards as a zombie is really dangerous.
It's and really convenient as well for takeout. You know. But if anything, yeah, I'd recommend you have a read of the Marvel Zombies run. It's very good, very good. So
Pretty fun, yeah.
It's really funny as well. Has some funny moments.
It was such a huge thing when it came out.
Yeah.
It came out during that moment. You know, there's like one supernatural. Like when I was in my teens, it was vampires.
Yeah, the John, we talked about this, so it's all about the multiverse. Now, I said this yesterday, literally word for word verbatim. I was like, I feel like we're hitting the prequel storytelling, but in series. There's a lot of that happening. Obviously, there's a lot for announcements with like the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that that's coming out, but it feels like there's an awful lot of that starting to happen on this corner as we come out of the cusp of the multiverse.
Yeah.
So
Like, yeah, everything's a multiverse stuff now.
And then,
Back in the early 2000s or the mid 2000s, everything was zombies.
yeah, exactly. So that would have been the run. Like even Walking Dead and stuff like that was pushed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Walking
exactly.
Dead,
Yeah.
It's all.
Yeah.
It all comes out in chunks of like 80s and 90s action hero fucking movies. Lethal Weapon, Die Hard,
Yeah.
go on and on.
I was starting to have a problem with the prequel thing you were talking about because it felt like for example, Street Fighter. They would never go past the storyline of Street Fighter 3. Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 were set before Street Fighter 3.
Yeah,
Just like,
Street Fighter
just
3 is
let
the end
this-
of it.
Yeah, just let the story progress. And they did it with Star Trek too. Is they're like Discovery's in the past and this is in the past. And it wasn't until Picard, which isn't a great series. They
And
let
now
it
it's a
actually.
multiverse in the next season.
Is,
Like I
is
said,
Street Fighter, is
everything
it Street Fighter's problem that Bison dies in 3 and you can't not have Bison?
Bison dies in 5 actually
Five.
before 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the problem is that an
The
organization.
continuity is.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to
Yeah.
remember how and when he dies, but in the release,
Yeah.
we know.
He's got a few bodies, like.
there's-
But what actually happens in 5 is, depending on which ending you take as canon, there's
Yeah.
this organization called the Illuminati led by Gillen Urian that takes over the world. And
Yeah.
at the same time, Ryu is actually realizing his full potential, right? So you have this situation where you have this incredibly powerful organization and the protagonist is now like Goku and Super Saiyan 55 or something. Like, so where do you go? Where do you go from that point? Which I can understand is okay, that's fine. But we're 25 years waiting for a sequel, guys. Find a way to move the story.
Can we just grow a little bit? Just,
Yeah.
Does 6 look to be a sequel to 3?
Yeah,
to
they've
be honest
confirmed
with you,
because
it's
everyone's pissed off. Like,
I think people are kind of doing the whole nostalgia. It's the nostalgia factor as well. I've seen it with
Yeah, of
like
course.
Ghostbusters when that new
Hmm.
release, because it was moving the story along, but a little taste of this is nostalgia. So there was an awful lot of that going on in the eras now, and I feel like that's gonna pepper out eventually. But I'm hoping that they stop this prequel shite eventually, soon. Like Chucky has a series. Did you know that? I didn't even know they're on season 2. Like that.
I actually hear it's pretty good. I recently heard someone talking about this
My
show,
heart
and
and
they
soul
had
is all
praise of
buried
it.
into this. You know what I mean? Like I don't have enough room for this and a 10-year-old. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm speaking of this. I hate the concept of Spider-Man freshman year so much. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the show that takes place for the year before Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does it? Because apparently Doc Ock's in it, Nico Minoru's in it. Like, so a lot of people are there like, this doesn't work.
Well, yeah, they've announced that this is the prequel show for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and I hate this idea.
I said this 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Prequels.
Yeah. I know you said it right away, and it's completely.
It's the ADHD spectrum on me. I'm sorry. I just have this ball and tinfoil. It's a curse.
I was excited for Nico coming into the Marvel universe, but I think this is going to get retconned out immediately.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But when we don't have prequels, we have sequels. And X-Men 97 is something that I'm so hyped for.
I am
It
so
is ridiculous.
hyped for
It looks like they're doing the storyline where.
Oh my god, everyone's frozen. And we're live. I can't believe this. What do I
Leather
do?
jacket,
There we
Jubilee.
Your body
is
is froze and disappear. I was like, oh my god, this is happening live. Why?
So it's happened to all of us now.
Yeah.
I think we
Anyway.
we might
after
need to
dawn.
try an alternative to whereby in another week because we're having a lot of problems.
I have some ideas, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Leave it to the producer. It's okay. But yeah, what were we talking
So
about?
do we need to repeat that then because we
If
were
you-
talking about X-Men
Yes,
97?
please go.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah, right. Go
What I
on.
said was, I absolutely love how Magneto looks in this. I think it's so good. I'm so excited to see Jubilee. I
Oh my
love
God.
seeing the cool. I love seeing the cool Gambit again.
Oh
I'm
my
just
god,
like,
the
this
cool
is-
guy
oh, I'm
with his
s-
hair and the band. Oh, he's gonna be so fucking class. Oh, S-class. He's gonna be so
I know.
I'm
good.
so excited.
From the looks of the costume, right? That costume is when Magneto in the 80s first turns good, and Charlie gets the shaft. He's dead basically
Yeah.
for a while. Yeah, Magneto takes over as leader of the X-Men, and he gets the original one, right? The M bit, it's like it's a titty top. It's just like this, and his pecs are on show, and it's clear they're like we're not gonna get away with this.
We're gonna ease that
widen
idea
it a
back.
bit.
Give it
Yeah.
a bit more. Give it a bit more of a barrel. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
God.
So there's a lot of LGBTQ people who love X-Men online, and they're all like, "Oh, I love that Magneto top. Why are you taking him?"
Don't blame me. You look pretty good for a silver
Yeah.
fox, you know.
He looks so badass, like helmetless, like literally Silver Fox. Ah,
Yeah. That's
so excited.
Magneto should always be a silver fox, shouldn't he? Really?
Always.
Absolutely.
we don't
Yeah.
see enough helmetless Magneto, even though I love the Magneto helmet to death.
His old costume in white is peak Magneto for me. I love the the magenta and
Oh
red
yeah.
one. Yeah, when they have him in that in white, when you can't see his face, it's just dark in there. I love that look. That's peak
Very
Magneto. for me.
menacing. Very
Yeah.
menacing look.
Love that look.
But yes, from what we understand, they're continuing on the story that we have obviously watched as children, and from what I remember, the last part of it was spoilers for anyone out there that might give a shit, but it was a part where Wolverine travels into the future. No, it wasn't Wolverine. Anyway, they travel in the future, and they come across Cable, and they explain to him that it was the adamantium that destroyed everything. So I'm like, and that's where they left me. All the way back then. And here I am, decades later, for my fucking sequel. So
Did you
Jupiter
notice
said
they-
it will happen. Sorry.
Did you notice they deliberately showed Cable in the few, like they gave a shot of the X-Men, their allies, and the main villains. Mr. Sinister's back.
Mr. Sinister's back as well. Yes, I can't wait.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good.
these are all
Yeah.
like favorite designs of characters.
If they want
It-
nostalgia, prequel ability, and a little bit of animation fun, how much and where can I see it? Okay, is it X-Men? Yes, just I'll pay extra. That's fine. Like,
We were saying before you were here, before you were in the call thing, but
in
I
what?
actually have no attachment to the 90s X-Men because I was exactly the wrong age. I thought I was too big and too clever to watch a silly cartoon about the X-Men
and
when
here
I
you
read
are
the comics.
now,
Like,
having
yeah,
a
here I
chat,
am now going.
talking
yeah.
to me about it. I'm like, listen, let me pull you back. It was 1990, right? I was in my jammies on a Saturday morning. There I was, watching. Like, seriously, it was probably like the best thing in the world growing up. Especially during that time. We had so many good cartoons. And this was wonderful. And then many, many, many years later, when Netflix was all the rage back in, like, I think it was like 2015 or 16, probably even before.
Yeah, there was a day
13.
when that and Spider-Man both dropped on the
That-
same day.
Both of them dropped on the same day, and my fucking god, no work got done. And it was a case of me binge watching this because I knew they were going to take it away from me soon. Like, it was that kind of fear. Kevin, can you hear me? I'm here to play her. I'm right here. It's either Siren or Shamrock. I'm ready.
I hope this is a massive success.
Oh, please God, like, I'm ready. I'm ready to sit down with my child and be like, well, eventually if she's old enough, she should be old enough when it's released. But like, sit down with her and be like, this is what Mom grew up with. And we're gonna watch this together. And I can't wait and see if she resists. And I'm like, no, you need to watch it. No.
Now, if they want to be really brave, they should continue on X-Men Evolutions as well.
That might be on the
maybe,
cards.
maybe.
Because that also ended on a cliffhanger, and it was a cliffhanger for Apocalypse. And I would
If
love
they're
that.
tying up, listen, they're good at tying off loose ends. Okay, we
X-Men
talked about
Evolution
this.
is an underrated show in my opinion.
Might be good. I'd be like, if a case, maybe they're kind of looking at the animation side of it again, seeing how the water kind of tilts or whatever. And if they get a good response on it, if they're doing X-Men and for Marvel Zombies, I'm all about that too. And I was really hooked on the second season for What If to come out because I really want to see what happens with the Iron Man, the version where he's with Gamora, where he's stuck on whole planet bollocks.
It did seem like series 2 of What If was gonna veer between, like, they're doing a Neil Gaiman story 1602 in What If, but they were real clear, like, we'll be following what happens to that Natasha variant after she goes off to the
well look at our woman Carter as well, see what the story the Hydra Stomper.
I really like 1602. It's a really good story.
Yeah, I like 1602 myself. Beautifully. It's like a hand drawn, like hand penciled. Like the color is penciled, like it's lovely. If you ever want to see a different Marvel comic, like that's one. So,
I have Fantastic Four 1602 there somewhere.
And I'm looking forward to X-Men 97 to see if I care.
Oh,
I don't want to sound bad, but you know what I mean?
You will, don't worry. And the good thing is that they actually do a good job of Rogue as well in this. You know what I mean? She's not some pussyfooted little cow. She goes around like, let me soak up some of that superpower.
Good Rogue with permanent Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel powers.
Even the Phoenix as well is fantastic. How they get Jean Grey to go into Phoenix as well, and she goes off planet and stuff like that. It's cool, very cool. Can't wait. I'm emotional just thinking about it.
That Storm design is so strong in that show.
Yeah, they've given her the punk haircut.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah, good look though. It is a solid look.
Yeah, that show. To me, it's so important nostalgically. Let's talk about. Let's move on to the main event.
Here we go. Right,
First of all, let's talk about the things that people are kind of done with. Phase 4 is coming to an end.
Yay!
The continuity of that fucking era of the blip. I'm gonna still keep calling it the blip era, okay? Because it's only fair. Because we lost a couple of years of our life. We're all locked indoors. We don't know how to actually socialize physically anymore as humans. It's great. We have to relearn it.
I feel like Phase 4 will be forever known as the pothole phase.
The pothole phase. Yes. I like that.
Yeah, where they were like, the world kind of came to a stop. Oh, okay.
So did our TV programming.
Let's regroup and get things back on track again.
But yeah, so it looks like we have some solid shit coming out of the gate.
Yes, the last two things in Phase 4 are She-Hulk and Wakanda Forever. And we got trailers for both of them, and they're both pretty strong.
Okay, so let's talk about She-Hulk first, and let's leave the emotional one to last because we love it so much.
I'm going to say this now. She-Hulk is the thing I'm looking forward to most that's coming out soon. I'm so excited for She-Hulk.
I am too. I can't wait to look at the whole. She's so good at fourth wall breaking as well.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So...
This new trailer has shown one of my favorite tropes in media, and that is when two people go off and do a training arc in a forest on their own. And Mark Ruffalo is going to be back at least for an episode, and I'm delighted. They seem to have great chemistry.
I love it.
Yeah, the first trailer was a bit of a letdown for me, and it was the beginning of me going like, I'm not that excited for Marvel stuff anymore. This trailer brought me back, at least for She-Hulk, along with the news about She-Hulk as well. Like, because they did the fourth wall break, and the fourth wall break was funny. They're like, yeah, I'm back. The second I saw that, I'm in. The special effects look better, thank God. And Tatiana Maslany came across better in this one as well. Like, you know, when she's like furious at him, like, you know, everything just felt good.
Yeah, like in the bed. I don't be woken up in the bed.
And like the way they were putting it across, they were saying like it's 9 episodes. This is a legal comedy. They came out and said that. They put out posters saying if you're a superhero and you need representation, hire She-Hulk.
And they were
coming out saying, listen, this is a comedy and there are tons of cameos in it. And that's what I wanted. Every week I wanted to be another superhero who's done something stupid.
And I think we're going to have more damage control going on there. You know what I mean? Because they want to be cleaning up their act and not look like they're trying to take down kids. You know what I mean?
And they're clearly doing that thing where like She-Hulk always gets caught up with like cosmic law and stuff in her comics. It looks like
Yeah.
they're doing that
And it
too.
had Wong popping in.
Wong popping in, yeah. So
Yeah.
like it was there, like yep. Everything in the trailer's
And
just
especially she pointed out to the law of like, I can't represent him because, I have an interest in conflict because,
Yeah,
trying
we're
to
all
kill
right
my
with that.
cousin. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's fine. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
One of the things I would love so much is just a little Loki cameo where Loki turns up going, I need a lawyer. I've messed things up.
No, or even the guy from Warren Sachs or whatever the hell it was. The kid that got arrested as well at the same time. And he's like, I'm not taking a ticket. And I was like,
Yes.
guy didn't give me a ticket.
Oh no, yeah, they don't
At
not
the,
exist. They just go to the end of the universe.
They go to the void.
I think things frozen again.
I'm
Yeah.
not frozen. I
Yeah.
can still see the
Can you hear
Bowie.
us?
This is live. This is live. I can still hear you. Oh my god, I'm frozen for them. This is hilarious. Oh, let's see if we can break it. Oh, here we go. We broke it. We're live and we broke it. Knock, knock, bitches. It's all black. I can't see anything. Ah, we're breaking this live on the internet. I buy bride at 80. Said it to them. Said it to them not to celebrate. They didn't listen. They simply didn't listen. I can't even hear or see any. Is it going to refresh again? Oh my god, come back to me. God, refresh. Refresh, we're live. Kevin's looking at us. Refresh. Everything is broken. Black screen. I don't understand and I don't know how to fix it. There, we're back.
Hey!
I got you, we're back. Yeah, I don't feel alone anymore, you guys. I was on my own and we were live and I was just alone in the void.
I like
Yeah.
the music you've on.
I kept it going though. I kept it going,
Yeah.
Lads, this is negative crack with
I told
the
you,
tech problems. Yeah.
You go watch the VOD. I already bitched about Tyria saying this would fucking happen, so it's fine. Fine.
Oh, we'll figure out something.
Anyway,
again.
what we're talking about, She-Hulk.
Where were we?
She-Hulk
Okay.
being amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a Loki crossover for this could be a really fun idea. Get her in front of like a cosmic judge. I love that sort of stuff when she ends up in silly courtrooms with like towering giant judges.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
Here for all that stuff. And she does do work for the TVA in the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
actually, the crossover would make sense.
It'd be really
we
cool
got-
to see like Maurice going in and having a conversation with her and see what the crack is, you know?
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And we haven't even touched on what's probably the most talked about thing in this trailer, which is the cameo at the end. That makes total sense. The only other
yes.
lawyer that
The
exists
other lawyer.
in the MCU,
Looks
in
like
the
he's-
universe.
Looks like he has a new costume.
It is, I like those yellow bands on his wrists. Gives
Yeah,
a little bit
bands
of
look
pop.
good.
Back, I love.
Yeah.
Belly clubs are good.
Yeah. And
Oh.
I don't like. I mean, Phase 5 looks like Daredevil's face. He's everywhere.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Everywhere. I think it's like
Yeah.
a redemption arc for him. To be honest with you, like,
Yeah.
and I can't, like, this is what I can't wait for. It's rated R. It's rated R, baby.
I also feel like I might get what I want, and I might get the Elektra death in the beginning of Secret Invasion now.
Oh, we well could.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, only if
I
he all
would
in
love
your
that.
fucking edge.
Oh, imagine we get at the
Yeah,
start of
it's not-
Secret Invasion.
yeah. But then what? He's in Echo.
Yeah.
And
What if he's in Secret Invasion for a quick minute?
Oh, that's what I think. I think he should be. I think
Yeah.
everyone should be in Secret Invasion. I think if you do this, do it right.
Oh my god, every
Secret
on their
Invasion
nannies
should
are in a
be-
minute.
I think Secret Invasion should be a massive deal. They're just not talking about it yet.
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
I would
look,
have it be everyone. I think this is where you bring in Deadpool. I think this is where you do everything.
I think it's going to be really good.
Because
Seeing the whole,
I don't know if anybody's ever read
go on.
Deadpool's Secret Invasion comic, but it's amazing.
No. Apparently,
I
he's in a
haven't.
really good one called Deadpool's Secret Wars at the moment. where he's traveled back to the past. He's in the original Secret Wars, like doing stuff in the background.
Oh
It's supposed to
god,
be
that's
great.
brilliant. I want
Yeah.
that.
Like
I
the
want
70s
that.
one
Yeah,
with the black Spider-Man suit one.
yeah,
Wait,
that
wait,
one.
wait. Hon, if we're talking
Oh, I
about
didn't
that.
read that. That's
Wait. I think you just touched on something very important. But isn't Loki
Yeah.
2, season 2, based in the 70s?
Well, at least one
Uh,
scene is. You know, I assume he's going to be moving around. So
You
Yeah.
never know.
We just know there's something done. Oh, I'm going to read Deadpool Secret Wars. That sounds amazing.
yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I plan to. I just read the synopsis and went, "Yep,"
Yeah, that
because
sounds.
they did one issue like that. I think it was Deadpool's like 30th anniversary or 20th anniversary or something, and they sent him back to a really old Spider-Man comic, and he was doing the same thing. He's just farting
Yeah.
around in the background, and he was obsessed with how Norman Osborn's hair looked like that. I don't know if you've ever seen how they used to draw
Yeah.
Norman Osborn's hair, like, but he was there like, "What's up with that hair?"
I love it.
It's funny. Deadpool is a character that I went from being like mildly enjoying to hating, and now I'm back to being enjoying again.
How you got to the hate
Marvel.
part?
He was everywhere for a while. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Easy
especially
hate.
when he was drowning and
There
skin.
was a critical mass of Deadpool for a while. It was like
Too much.
it was bad. There was a time like late 90s, early 2000s where Wolverine was everywhere, and that was nothing compared to the Deadpool era.
Mhm.
Oh god,
Although,
yeah.
one of my favorite comics I have read in the last decade, I'd say. I think I might have mentioned this before. It was during Laura Kinney's Wolverine run, and you know the way there's a clone of Laura Kinney. It's
Yeah.
like they have a joke where like there's clones all the way down. So Honey Badger is her name, and they have a pet Wolverine. So Wolverine's clone has a Wolverine's clone, and they have a pet Wolverine, right? And they meet Old Man Logan, who is Old Wolverine as well. So anyway, yeah. So
Critical
the-
mass of Wolverines.
yeah, the young clone, the younger one, Honey Badger, right, as she's known, finds the lab where their pet Wolverine, the animal, has been genetically manipulated, and so they're basically experimenting on animals, and she's not having this crap at all. But she
Okay.
reckons Laura, as in Weapon.
A Weapon X.
X-23.
Yeah. She reckons she won't help her destroy this lab, so she rings up Deadpool because she knows Deadpool, if he hears anything's being experimented on because of his history,
Yeah, exactly.
He's
He'll
gonna-
go for it.
he'll be there. And it's so funny. This vulnerable little kid and Deadpool like
Going
wrecking this
in.
lab. Yeah. And they're being attacked by mutant bunnies and stuff.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
great.
and at the end, like Laura figures out what they're doing, right? And she walks into the lab, and like both Deadpool and I can't remember the character's real name, but Honey Badger, they're like, "Oh, we're really sorry, we didn't think you'd go for this." And they're like, "Do you not know my history? I was grown in a lab. I'm gonna kill all of these people." And the three of them just go ham together and bond like a family. It's really, really
Oh,
good.
that's good.
Yeah, and there's this other little thing with the clone of the clone. Her little twist on the Wolverine powers is she can't feel pain, so she has the healing factor, but also she's got no nerve endings, right? So she gives Deadpool a present, and he's there like, "Oh, what's this?" And he opens the box, and she's cut off her own hand into
Fucking brilliant.
just a finger. It's so funny.
Man, having infinite regeneration and no pain would lead to some real funny situations.
Oh my god, it'll bring whole like dick pics to a whole new thing. My dick in a box. My dick in a box, girl.
Right, massive tangent there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
Black Panther 2, that's a thing.
Oh my
We saw a
god.
trailer. It was
Wakanda
pretty good.
forever.
Thriller.
People are really emotional about this.
I cried.
I can say Marvel did their best to make sure that happened.
I cried. It was emotional. Of
Yeah,
course it was.
it's manipulative in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's manipulative in a
Absolutely.
good way. Yeah, and I hope they're kind of going to keep to the same. From what I understand, they're going to kind of keep it to the same story of how Chadwick passed away. So how the Black Panther's passed away is going to be similar, from what I understood.
Was that? I
What
didn't.
say-
I didn't
That's
know
what
they
I
talked
heard.
about that.
That's what I heard or read. I have to find the article for it. But going on to the trailer, yeah, it was really, really wonderful. Very cultured sound, very Marvel-esque when it comes to these kind of productions. They always keep into the air of the culture, what they're trying to represent, and it was really, really, it was very, very heartfelt as well. Especially in the culture, obviously in that culture they wear white to mourn as well. I think it's beautiful because it's great. It's a great visual way of celebrating the life as well. So I thought it was really, really emotional. Yeah, but Namor. Let's talk about Namor.
Right. Well, the interesting thing that I mean, you watch social media. Loads of people are really happy Neymar in it, especially the Mesoamerican kind of community.
Yeah.
Apparently, this guy Tenoch Huerta, he's one. Apologies if I savaged the name there, by the way. Apparently he's one of these actors. He's like Anthony Starr in The Boys. He's a really, really nice guy, but he can 100% put on
So he's like
total asshole. Like,
yeah.
perfect for Neymar, because Neymar is just
Yeah.
he's just shy of being someone you really want to see getting the head kicked off him. Like that's
Tiny
his
bit,
character. Yeah. He's tough enough to fight the Hulk, and he knows it.
I love the trailer where it shows all of the basically it shows all of the characters all around everything, especially when you see the Atlanteans as well, and how they actually did the headdressing all down to the blue visual. It really did keep to the Mayan feel, if I'm incorrect, please let me know, but it did really feel like it had that beautiful ancient like look to it with that good twist. You know, that Marvel always does well whenever they're trying to portray any kind of character isn't human, really, in a sense, but in a humanoid character, you know. But still, it looks visually stunning, and I'm looking forward to seeing like what is it that Namor's cousin? That's the character. Her, can't remember.
I'm not
her
sure.
name.
It's either his cousin is Namorita.
Yeah.
But he has like another relation called Namora.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
So I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know who that. I don't know if it's Namora or Namorita. Namorita.
I feel like both of those names aren't viable.
Yeah.
Unless they're gonna do a whole like we'll just stitch one and keep one for.
Yes.
If I was an
continuity's
actor,
sake.
I would be like, I'm not saying Namorita out loud.
Oh my god. But like,
Do you know
yeah. Go on.
Tangent time. One of the really interesting things about this trailer for me, this is going to be a real Brian moment, right? So you know,
I love it. I love when
Yeah.
you've already reflected on how it's gonna go a little bit weird. But okay, go on.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, I like real world conspiracy theories, not like the Marvel ones that we usually talk about, the actual real world ones, right? A common
Like
use
Finland not
of
been real.
Hmm?
Like Finland not been real.
Like what's not Finland?
Finland's not real.
Finland's not. Is that our conspiracy theory?
That's my favorite conspiracy theory.
Okay, we'll talk about that one. Right. So, a very, very common use for right-wing conspiracy theories is to deny any populace that isn't white were capable of doing like buildings or any great technologies. Right. So
Yeah.
it has to be aliens, or the Vikings had to travel over there, or blah
Oh
blah
yeah,
blah.
like
This is super
yeah,
common.
yeah.
Yeah. So there are people who are upset that the Atlanteans aren't white people. I mean, at best they're blue. Do you know what I mean?
Are they just
they
kind
were
of
never.
giving out because
I haven't even-
Namor is half and half in a
Yeah.
sense because he's half alien and half Mayan. Well, so what are you really
But-
saying, guys?
Yeah, but like I'm not even sure if consciously the thing if they know the reason they're upset is because this, like they're convinced Atlanteans should be white dudes.
Show me the evidence.
Well, yeah.
Show me the. No, I will believe you. I have no problem, and I will sit there and I will apologize and kiss your feet. But you got to show me the
not
fucking
the-
evidence. Not like I read and I heard from my best friend because she has a blood. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Show me the
Really-
evidence. Don't get upset and pussyfoot around me, child.
They think it's the lost city of Atlanta.
It's a loss of fucking brain cells.
Yeah. So, but
Anyway.
like I think I love this look for Atlantis. I think
Oh.
it's really, you know, there's so many lost civilizations in that part of the world. Makes perfect sense to make it into Atlantis. You know,
Yeah.
to me.
Yep.
And, you know, it makes perfect sense as well. I especially the fact of how much of the history of the culture, and then obviously when you're obviously going down the history of it, like the fact that of like another culture getting pushed out by a colonialism, you know, that kind of stuff. So you're seeing these lost cultures coming up out of the world, especially in the first scene when it's a young child. You can really see, like, it looks like a settlement, almost a colonial settlement, if you will, because that's what it looks like. Then merging up onto that, it kind of feels like that kind of it feels like that kind of story. And again, this is what Marvel does. They take kind of like little parts of glimpses of history or know of history and kind of adapt it in that way. Or real history. We talked about the partition as well in Miss Marvel. That was very good. And then a little bit of the Egyptian side of it, it was okay too. But still, yeah, it might be really, really. I really look forward to see how they're going to dive into this, because it's just two very opposite sides of the world cultures, you know. And I think that's
it looks
interesting
real.
to see.
That I will say that they've chosen that as an aesthetic. It's going to look really good.
Oh, it's going to look. It already looks really good in the trailer. Like,
yeah, it does.
I'm even sold at the part where M'Baku jumps out of the fucking boat and he's going up for Namor. Just that, because he's such, obviously, like, he comes from the I can't remember the
ape tribe.
The ape tribe or whatever, from the Snow Mountains or whatever. He's such a big figure, and he's always very, like, lots of, like, dark fluff, barely any kind of, like, colour within his aesthetic, whereas you see, like, King T'Challa would be wearing, like, you know, either the black and then Okoye would be in red and so on, like, you know. But, like, it just, the contrast kind of reminds you of, like, Gore the Butcher, and actually seeing Love and Thunder as well. So kind of had that kind of weird aesthetic of, like, shadow and crushing this, just all this kind of glamour and colour and whimsicalness to it. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I am. This is, like I said to myself, like, I wasn't even looking forward to go and see Love and Thunder, because this is the problem I have, is that there's so many goddamn spoilers in terms of it's the lads directly from the fountain that are turning on the tap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're like, in the next episode, bleh, and they're like, you left me on a cliffhanger. Now I know your one is definitely not dead, because you're just like, keep watching. And that's what killed me about Love and Thunder, because there was so, and again with Eternals and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange too, they're pumping out so many goddamn promotions all over the place. Watch. I will watch it, but if you keep telling me what exactly is going to happen in the story, like I said last week, I don't even need to see Love and Thunder or already know what happens, because they're constantly playing it. So that's one thing I just don't want this to be spoiled, and I feel like they're going to do that. And if they don't leak too much of it out online, and they had that anticipation, that hunger for everyone to go out and see that movie, because it is emotional. We have grown attachments, especially to the actor as well. But if they do it right and don't promote the shit out of it by leaking all this fucking, like, we find out who becomes the Black Panther before you even see the movie, kind of crap, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sit here in a couple of weeks' time going, like, it's great that I know who it is. That's all I ask. You just do it right and then release it. Money, happiness, glory if the movie's fantastic.
I have a feeling that there's a third party who's the actual villain of this film.
I have a theory that it could be, and I'm gonna put my money on Killmonger coming back.
I agree that that's a very likely, but that's not who I think is behind it all.
No, who's behind all I don't know. But
yeah, I've a guess.
It could be Thunderbolt Ross, but we don't know what the scale
No,
is
they just announced Secret Wars, so it's probably Dr. Doom. Latveria is stirring the ship between. This is my guess.
And more than likely, they're just trying to get the vibranium.
Yeah, which Doom's always after, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's a weird thing. Namor doesn't really work as a villain for the whole movie.
No, like he's more of
he's annoying and he's arrogant, but he's not evil.
No, because he's not. Yeah, his intention wouldn't be like, I'm just gonna go up and start shit. Like, there has to be some kind of.
He has to believe it's for the good of Atlantis.
Exactly. Yeah. The impact has to be strong enough that it has to be worth saving Atlantis. You know what I mean? Or look
enormous asshole, but like he's not evil.
Yeah, he tries to steal Susan Richards, but he won't
A
kill Reed
lot
Richards.
of times.
That's the best example of it.
A lot of times.
I
And
want
he
to
was like-
rob your wife, but I won't kill you to do it.
I'm not gonna kill you though, but like, you know, I just tell you, and then
Yeah.
kind of cozy up to her as well. Like, you know, you should be like off with me instead of him, and it's like, just fucking,
But he'll
Dude.
work with Reed Richards.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's right there as well, which is even funnier. Anyway,
I'm not sure we're gonna get this done tonight, guys. At
we're
this
gonna
rate.
have to like do this as a two-parter. Next
I
week we can
think so.
continue on. Look at the
Yeah.
continuity, break it down a bit better, see what the story is with DC next week.
We could leave Phase 5 and 6 for the next episode if you would like.
I think that might be an idea.
We
Yeah,
can talk more
next
about
week
the
is-
Blade as we're
Because I have a lot to talk about for Phase 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Phase
yeah.
5, I've tons to talk about myself, so I don't
And
really.
then
Maybe
But
we'll
then-
talk about. Yeah.
Then that's what we do, just like Marvel, we leave them on a cliffhanger.
8 more blank spaces. What's that, bro?
8
Oh,
more
on
blank
Phase
space.
6.
Yeah,
Something on
and
Phase 6.
Phase 6
Yeah.
for D23. So
Yeah.
I thought that would be a good discussion what we think.
Oh, what
we
the
feel in
predictions
next
will be?
phase.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, I'm down for that.
That's September, isn't it?
We'll get
September
my finest
23rd or
tin hat.
something. Yeah, that's a
Well,
tin hat time.
That is a
discussion.
tin
They
hat
could,
and a
act,
half.
they could actually. They're so ahead now. They could wait till D23 next year to film those spaces.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they're gonna be ahead of this shit.
Yeah, just overall, the way they presented this year, especially after the way DC, it was a bit like, you know, remember that year when Xbox, was it the Xbone was coming out,
Oh yeah.
and Microsoft just fell over themselves so many times and made so many mistakes. And Sony just came out and basically said, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
trade games on our console.
And
here's-
$3.99.
Yeah, at $3.99, and here's a load of games you actually want to play. We're not going to talk about TV at all. Do you remember? It was just
the,
like
the
was like-
biggest mess up a company has ever made.
yeah, it was like curb stomp after curb stomp after curb stomp, and it was a bit like that. Watching this, was there like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah. Oh my, Wakanda forever. That looks good. Oh yeah, I'm like.
I watched the
all this
live
stuff. Yeah.
live announcement as it came out, talking about this is what we have. People were just blowing up in their seats. People were shouting at
And
people
then
to
the-
sit the fuck down. It was brilliant.
Yeah. And then like after the first bit, I'm there like, and then they're like, yeah, but like Phase 5,
But it felt
Phase
like
4. Sorry, yeah,
It felt like
Phase
one
4
of
is
those
done.
ads,
Phase 5.
but wait, there's more.
Yeah, there's
when,
more. Like.
When you also watch our animation and also take part in our series, we also have all of this shit happening. And then it's
And
like
Aiden-
the Dynasty of Kang, and I was like,
Aiden and I were messaging at the time, and like when they done Phase 5, Phase 5, I was there like, wow, that was really good. I'm happy. Marvel's got me back in. I'm gonna be watching all this, and then they're like, there's more.
wait, we
There's
have.
Phase 6.
He's like Phase 6, and I was like, motherfucker just brought it up to another level.
And not only that, they're like Phase 6. They're like, okay, so we'll tell you what Phase 6 is going to start with. That's cool. That's Fantastic Four. But do you want 2 more Avengers movies?
Just as it was coming in, as like people are just watching the shine light as it just pulls back and it's an A, and I was like, oh.
Not only that, one of them has a word in its name that makes the next Ant-Man movie really important.
Mm. So
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that, like, if you know, right? No, I'll save this discussion for.
We gotta
Actually,
save
yeah,
it
that's
for next week.
Yeah.
We'll keep it on a cliffhanger, Majiggy.
Yeah. So that has been our episode talking about the first half. My God, we can talk a lot.
We could talk.
Right.
We'll have to like
I
spread
was-
it out for years at this
I was
point.
stopping myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could have talked twice as much about all of those.
I know. And then you even said it to me as well. Oh my God, you have all of the posters. I was like, I have all of the posters. I am just as equally as excited as you.
We didn't even
are.
talk about Riri Williams
Wait,
Oh,
we haven't
she's
even
on the
talked.
list.
She's
yeah,
she's in the
she's-
trailer.
in the trailer. Yeah.
And Jimmy
I
Cameron.
I mentioned it in the
Heart.
chat. I was like, when I saw, I was like, it looks like she's going to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
yeah. Because it did.
It's in
Look, she
Wakanda.
was in her tank top and everything, doing the fucking hammer. I
Yeah,
thought the
I was
same.
like, I would love if that was like a little throwback.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening. She'll make the first one in her
No,
bedroom, and the Wakandans will be like, "Wow, that's impressive." And
Yeah, I hope
then
I've
she
seen
moves
the
to Wakanda.
pictures of the Mark one of it, but we could talk
Yeah,
about
that's
this
for
next week.
another time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
But
go.
if you have any comments or any kind of questions or anything like that, please throw it in the comments below. We'd love to hear. I'd love to hear it. And also hit a like on the L video as well to help us build a little bit higher in what we do, because we love all our stuff and all anyways.
And subscribe and hit the little bell.
The little bell, and lets you know when we're on live next.
That's important. The
It's
bell's the
so
most important bit.
So important. But if you do have any direct questions for any of us, how do we find you, Ado?
Look at me on Twitter at AODHAIN616. If you want to see me screaming, killing the name of, it's up there.
It's up there, so we can see him not breaking his voice. And what about you, Brian?
Brian Von Doom on Twitter.
Do you have any plans for the weekends, lads? Are we playing anything? Is there any tourneys?
I'm not doing any tournaments this weekend, so this will be one of these weekends when I find weird stuff on comics and put it on Twitter.
I'm going to buy Live Alive tomorrow and play that, and I have a gig on Sunday night that I'm very excited about.
Good, I'm glad. Well, lads and lasses, if you enjoy the content that I also brought, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, anything that begins with a T, add the Tinkerbell. And I'll be live. I have the day off tomorrow because, you know, girls gotta have a day off. I'll be back on Friday going live, playing the Forza game, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you then. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.